Morning. I feel like I've been going a little bit insane this morning, and maybe because I'm sleep deprived. I was just like sat on the phone to my PA, just like smiling like this, with gum in my mouth, just like, yeah. Honestly, I think I looked high or something. I was not. I am not. I don't look like it now though, so that's fine. Just being a bit silly goofy this morning. And oh my god, right, the electrician came over. Like, I literally got woken up to the electric man, and I've been like taking a piss out of myself for the fact that I was going, the electric man. But then I was like, wait, isn't that normal? Doesn't other people say that? Like, if the electric man comes over, like, what do you call him? A plumber? That's not a plumber. That's not a plumber. Plumbers don't work on electric, right? Or do they? I don't know. Anyways, what was I saying? Basically, last week, right, our carbon monoxide alarm went off, which, by the way, led me down a whole other like spiral. I literally had to take my shoes and socks off. I went to the park and put my bare feet on the ground because I was like, oh my god, I've got carbon monoxide poisoning. I'm going to die. I have 30 minutes. You have 30 minutes. I was like, I have 30 minutes. I literally took my shoes and socks off and stood there barefoot on the ground, and there was like a group of girls behind me, and I was like I know that they're taking piss at me, and honestly that's fine. Not interested right now. All I'm interested in is the fact that like I need to call an ambulance because I'm going to die. Didn't call an ambulance. I was completely fine. There literally was no carbon monoxide in the house. There was just a small gas leak, and my landlord, my agency or whatever it's called, was awful. They were like, the alarm's gone off. Okay, you can stay inside the house. Just open a window or something. But do you want me to die? If I die, you ain't getting rent. We ain't paying rent because we're dead. So, like, was that a really smart decision? Not really. Anyways, the electric man came over and was like, I forgot to add one bit. They turned all our electric and gas off, right? And then turn it back on. So 5 days later, and we're like, well, we've got no oven, we've got no stove. I'm eating like ready meals, which is fine. Ready meals, kind of nice, really nice. Half the plug sockets in the kitchen are just not working, so that's brilliant. That's vibes. I didn't want to eat anyways. I need to eat. I'm not human. So he comes over, wakes me up, right? By the way, it was like 11 a.m, so that's not his problem, that's my problem. And obviously I'm like sleep deprived, just woke up and I'm like, hello. He's like, oh, just coming to sort out the electric, and I'm like, yeah, cool, you go do that. He's like, oh, like, can you tell me what happened, what I need to work on? I'm like, no, I can't. I could. But then for some reason I just started speaking like the way I was speaking. I was like, okay, I'm a little bit weird. Because I was like, so basically the carbon monoxide alarm went off. Turns out there was a small gas leak, and like they just didn't put the electric back on, so I just need the electric back on, which probably to him he was just like, yeah, okay, cool, sorted. And he got it done, which legend, brilliant. But then for some reason I've spent the whole morning just like looking back at that moment and thinking, why did I speak like that? Why was I weird? Why am I weird? Why are you weird? Also, I've noticed like I turn into an actual baddie when I have a piece of gum in my mouth. I put a piece of gum in my mouth and I'm like, yeah, I am that bitch. So also, can people stop asking me about what are you doing with uni then? Are you going to uni? Like, are you going back to uni? Are you gonna get a job? Like, what are you doing then? Can people stop asking me that? Because then when I have to explain, you know, my path is a little bit different, actually. I'm kind of dabbling in other areas. Don't fuck with the whole 9 to 5 for the rest of my life. Like, I'm just not that vibe. Like, I just want to be a creative and I want to do other stuff, and I want all of my talents and my skills to like come to life and be able to like make money off of that and yada yada yada. People just don't get it. Why do people just not get it? People just don't then you really see who doesn't believe in you and doesn't believe you can do that, or people that just like, oh, but that's just a dream. That's just a dream. You can't actually do it. Why not? Other people can, but I can't. Why? Why? What's the difference between me and them that I can't do it, but they can? Do you know what I mean? And that really grinds my gears. That really pisses me off, actually. I'm just like, well, I am going to do it. So I have literally no doubt in myself. I am going to do it. I am doing it. Simple. Don't ask me about uni. Don't ask me about a job. It's not happening. It's just... I'm just like, whatever happens will happen. You know what I mean? This is another thing that I'm like, should I be stressed? Should I be stressed about the fact that I'm not stressed? About the fact that I'm so chill about just like whatever happens, happens. Like, I'm excited for the future. I'm excited to see what I come up with and what I do next. Rather than like, oh my god, I need to get a job. I need to do this. I need to do that. Like, relax a little bit. Relax. It's all gonna be fine. It's all gonna work out okay. That's what I'm just like. Anyways, I don't know. I think that's just because I have like a lot of belief in myself, and I'm like, no, I am gonna do what I'm gonna do, and that's just a fact. And people just don't get that. They're like, oh my god, wait, you're not worried, you're not stressed, you're not like panicking about your future. No, I see good things in my future. See a good life ahead of me. But also, guys, I am coming towards the end of my book, which I'm hoping to release in the next few months, which would be great. That would be stunning. That would be great. Hopefully, I'm gonna put it on Amazon, so go buy my book. It's all about. So I was actually talking about this earlier with someone, how a lot of people who have been through trauma or like had been through a lot of horrible things in their childhood, just traumatized, and especially like people in the foster care system go on to talk about their experience with it and talk about the traumatizing things that happened and whatnot. And I'm so for that. But also, you can tell when someone isn't over their trauma and hasn't healed from it because of the fact that they get upset and they get emotional and they have those feelings whilst they are sharing their story, which is completely valid, by the way, absolutely valid. But it kind of shows, you know, you haven't actually healed from that and you haven't actually moved on from that, which is understandable. It's hard to heal from it. But one thing that I think you should do first is, when you go through these things, is to heal from it first and then tell your story, because then you can tell your story looking at it as if you are a third party. Do you know what I mean? As if that didn't actually happen to you. Because when I look back at mine, because I have done a shit ton of healing work and to get over that, I now look at it and can speak about it with absolutely zero feelings towards it or emotions, because I am healed from it. I'm over it. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think with my book, I'm talking about how to heal from these things. I'm not talking about my negative experiences, but talking about, if you did go through a traumatic childhood, if you have been through trauma, and foster care and neglect and things like that, how you can now move on from that, and how you can heal, how you can rewire your brain, how you can find out who you are and what you actually want in life and work towards that. Just a complete like redo, start over, and how to rewire your brain. And I add a lot of like psychological theorists and stuff in that to give a little bit of insight into psychology and the brain and how it works, and, you know, thought processes and why you have these thought processes and certain behaviors due to the trauma that you went through as a child, and how you can now change that to make a better future and a better present for yourself. I think with my book, that's a little bit different and important is that I take you along the journey with me. This book has been about 2.5 years now. I've been writing it, and I've been on this journey, spiritual journey, you could say, spiritual healing, psychological transformation, all of it, babes, all of it. So I'm not just talking about it from a research point of view. I'm talking about it from somebody who has been there, done that, experienced it, gone through it, done these things, and come out the other end. I'm talking as somebody who has the literal life experience of everything that I'm talking about. But I also went to uni to study psychology as well, so I have that little bit of like psychological knowledge to add to it as well. So I'm taking you along with it. Hold on a minute. I'm taking you along with me through my journey, but also sharing with you how I did that, and you know. So we've got the knowledge and the wisdom there to help people and to help other people, do what I did. Because I remember when I was at the start of my journey, I was like, ain't no way all of these things are gonna work. Ain't no way I can actually rewire my brain. And ain't no way I can actually change my whole entire thought processes and the way I see the world and the way I see myself, and I can heal from all of these crazy things that were keeping me stuck in a cycle. Ain't no way. Ain't no way I can set healthy boundaries and live a better life and whatnot. And I was like, do you know what? At this point, I've got nothing to lose. I've got nothing to lose. I might as well. So I did. And then I remember a few months later when all of it just started showing up in my life that it was working, and I was healing and I was growing and I was manifesting and getting all these things, and I just over time became a whole new different person than I used to be, and have a whole new different life, and it's the life I wanted then and I want now. And I just made all of that come into fruition with it. All starts with your mind first. It's inwards, outwards. It all starts with your mind and your thought processes and your perceptions and things like that, and then it all shapes your reality. And that is a fact, by the way. That is a fact. So I'm kind of teaching people how to do all of that, to change everything, basically. Anything and everything. I know it. I got it. I'm also trying to get more videos out on YouTube talking about all of the stuff that, I'm not just gonna write a book, but I'm also gonna share it all with you guys on YouTube. Except it's hard when you have so much to say, you have so much to get out. It all builds up. You've got all of this to say, and it's just there, and you're like, where do I start? What do I pick out first? What do I say first? How do I share all of this knowledge and wisdom that I have? How do I pick the pieces out? And it takes a little while, to be honest. I'll get there. We'll get there. And I mean, it can be hard, right, when you're on this path, because it's a completely different path to everyone else, and not a lot of people understand, especially like the neurotypicals, the people who've never been through anything difficult in their lives. They just don't get it. They don't understand. And honestly, fair enough. You wouldn't. If you've never experienced it, you've never gone through it, you've never seen it, how are you going to understand it? But anyways, I'm going to start posting a lot more about my book. I try to anyways, to kind of get it out there so people know about it. You know what I mean? Do a cheeky little bit of marketing or whatever. So yeah, hopefully you keep up to date with me and my work and what's going on, and hopefully I can release it soon. Anyway, just wanted to say that. So see you later.